Hey guys, Jason from Canine State of Mind. Just put this video together and I just think it's a little long, but hopefully I can trim some of it up and you can bear with me. But the most important process and thing that we do to be able to bring in these groups of dogs from different places and live harmoniously for a temporary amount of time is the initial meeting and what happens at first. So this is a great video of how that process looks. And as I'm talking to you right now, I have just filmed these sections, trimmed them up a little, and these dogs have not even been here for 1 hour. So to put that in perspective of the amount of time it takes if you follow the right steps and look for the right cues, body language, stuff like that, it doesn't have to be this crazy long process that you got to worry about. But these are the little things you look for from a behavior standpoint, from every dog being healthy and happy, from a leadership standpoint. So this video is going to pick up in a second right after we had just done a couple key steps. And I just want to remind everybody of what happened as we walked in the door, right? So I came in first. We have a gate that separates our living room from where our front door into the kitchen is, right? So there's two sections. Winnie and Olive both in crates because they stay in crates when we're not here. We brought in each one of these new guys. Maggie and Tucker. Lex is loose in the living room. Maggie and Tucker come in, don't have access to the other dogs, and vice versa. We did one at a time, but literally just like a minute each. And then I wish I had turned the camera on for this part, but it's really important. I just hadn't thought about it yet. So what I'm looking for is them to understand that I'm controlling the space that they get to access when they get to see and be in the same room and have access to each other, right? So I'm looking for cues in their behavior and different things to understand when it's okay, when everybody feels good about the next step, which is the first step was Tucker. I know Tucker. Tucker is a solid-minded male dog. He's litter mates with Maggie. Maggie's a little more unsure about stuff. Tucker comes in first, and we let everybody sort of smell. Actually, before that, we let Lex in there with them because that's just something that's important for Lex to calm down. So that was the first step. You got to really know your dogs when you're doing this. Lex goes into the other room, sees the other dogs, boom, done. Seconds later. First, Tucker comes in, Olive and Winnie get to sort of see him for the first time. And then at a certain point, we kind of switch it up where Maggie comes in and Winnie goes into the other room, and so they have access, but there's more space opens up. And then what I'm looking for is each dog and how they feel. Are they comfortable? Do they feel threatened? And then I'll start adding in little activities that will kind of bring them together as a group. But that is so important. I absolutely can't stress enough that you don't want to just open the door, no matter how sweet, nice, calm these dogs are, you don't want to have a home with 3 dogs, including one being a new puppy. Even if the older dogs have met these dogs before, you do not want to just open the door, drop the leash, let everybody get together and work it out. It will not work. It will give you a very different result than what you're about to see here. But I didn't get the camera turned on until the part where I just got them all in the room together, which is also important what you do after that. So enjoy. Thanks for watching. Olive, sit.
But you can start right now. Your country.
That's a good girl, Winnie. Who's a good girl, Olive? Good girl, Maggie. You don't like those?
What is it?
She's just a little unsure still. It's just her personality. But she's handling it really well. She wouldn't take the treat, but she's at least... That's why Maggie's always a little more unsure than the other one, so... Not that it's a bad thing, but no. Tucker. Tucker. Stage 2. And then Winnie will sort of learn from Olive that everybody's safe to play with. And if it's too much for her, we can give her access to go over there. Wait, good girl.
It's a feeling, a need,
Sit.
no rules. All
Good girl.
limited, all unlimited.
I don't think you like these, Mag.
Quench your thirst, live your dreams.
It's important to note that these are not treats that dogs would likely fight over. I would not use like a meat treat or something really smelly, something that would trigger like a
What are you using the
These
green
are
beans?
Charlie bears. These are like, it's
Oh,
like using
there should
a-
be green beans over
Well,
there.
yeah, but same idea. No one's gonna fight over a Charlie bear. Not these guys anyway. What do you think, Winnie? Like, it's way more powerful for Winnie's mind, the Doberman mind, to have these dogs in her area than it is for like Oliver or Lex.
Bring your family history to life like never before. Get started for free at ancestry.com.
Indeed's hiring tools, like skills tests,
Girl, Winnie.
let a person show you they're the right candidate. We also give you a groundhog to point out your perfect hire.
Those two won't take the treats. Just goes to show who's uncomfortable and who's not.
Indeed.com/groundhog.
Well, also,
But they're doing so well. It's
right, but these are also dogs that are used to being outside 24/7
Yeah.
and probably don't get
Well,
treats
and I
like
remember
this.
them from before. Maggie was always a little less together than. Everybody's checking it out. These are going to be your housemates for a couple of days. But as long as the focus is on me and not each other, so at this point, I want to get a little bit of higher value treat. I've got more access open. They can get into the kitchen. They can get outside, but I want to reinforce my leadership and my structure by getting a little higher value treat that everyone's going to like, having them show me a little structure, a little sitting, a little behavior, some focus, and that's going to kind of set this whole experience for everyone off the correct way. They've been here for 15 minutes or so at this point, and I started seeing everyone kind of go on about their business, going to different places, and that's my sign that everyone's kind of ready to do something like this, a little higher value treat, and it can be whatever. Everybody sit. And I'm watching the puppy more than anything because she is the one I want to make sure really has a great experience. But this is the behavior we want from everybody. Like, I have no worries about these guys. If we would have just opened the door and let them run in and then pulled our dogs out of the crate, there would be a much different dynamic going on here. But they're all seeing me as the person who controls their space, their access, their rewards, and so that's why I'm getting this level of focus and respect despite them just meeting two new dogs literally 10 minutes ago. Maybe 15. The reason I'm leaving this space open to the kitchen and to here, which started off closed in, is so I want that to be there and then to choose the space in front of me because I have something valuable, which is exactly what they're doing. Good girl. I know you was being good too. Winnie, sit. Good puppy. You know, this is going to help them learn that they don't need to fight over treats. They don't need to possess something and get worried that someone's going to steal it. I'm showing all these dogs, new and old, that pack meets our pack, that I control everything. No need to fight. I'll handle everything. They can trust me. Winnie, sit. What a good girl. What a good girl. They're respecting each other's boundaries and space. That's important to look at. But yeah, this is a perfect scenario of done right. Or done safely. And I really want to kind of extra watch the interactions between the puppy and those guys. A little extra because she's young, she's a puppy. This is new to her, these guys are new to her. Everyone's behaving great, but I'm still going to keep that extra eye on to make sure that she's really comfortable. She feels like she has places she can go if she needs to be safe, but this is normal dog curiosity. And again, if you can get everybody's attention, you're in good shape. And I want these guys to see me give the puppy treats first, right? So they know it's not always them first, just because they sit first. These are my dogs. They get treats. if you behave, you also get treats, right, little ones? These guys are a great example of just awesome, awesome dogs that can adapt to just about anything. And they wouldn't eat these when they first came in, so that shows the level of, in the last 20 minutes when they walked in the door versus now, the comfort level has changed to where now they will accept these treats from me, whereas before they just weren't sure. There's a lot going on. But so there is no hierarchy pack order where like, oh, well, you sat first, you get it first, or you're the boss here, so you get it first. Completely gets mixed up, and none of that matters except for I'm the one it comes from. Right, Winnie Pig? This is a 13-week-old puppy. That's good behavior. Very good behavior. Very excited, Winnie. Very happy with you, Winnie. Sit. Sit. Lex, join the game. And then just do little sessions, and then we're done. And then kind of let them socialize. But try to be the most interesting thing that's in the room. So if you've got 5 dogs interacting, can't see Lex right now, but the reason I know everything's okay is because I can get everyone's attention. Olive, look. Maggie, Tucker, come. Winnie Pig, come. So that right there shows me that everyone understands what is going on and that somebody's in charge and that it's not a free-for-all. They don't get to work it out themselves or start to develop their own little hierarchy. It's very simple. It's, okay, he's in charge, and the reason they know that is because we brought them together very quickly, but in phases of access. So they didn't just get to run in and see each other. We let everybody blatantly see that we control that. And these are very calm, very good dogs, and they've been over here before, Maggie and Tucker, so they know Olive and Lex. But Winnie is new to the picture, and she is very much like a Doberman with her behavior, so she needs to kind of check everything out and make sure her home and her environment is, you know, she'll actually be uncomfortable if we start limiting where she can go right now, because she needs to see what's going on, check everything out, see Olive feel safe, see that nothing's a threat, and you'll see her run around playing like a good little girl soon. There's no fixation, there's no temporary obsession with who this is or what's going on. I can get everybody's attention. It is normal social dog behavior. Keep an eye on everybody's behavior, and if I get up and walk around, I have to make sure that they notice that and that it kind of adjusts what they're doing. I just want them to notice. I don't care what they do, but it has to be an important thing that happens. Here, found it, Ralph. Good. Good girl. That's it, guys. Happen is you're going to see the puppy and Olive start to wrestle around and play like normal again, and then slowly but surely you'll see these guys get comfortable enough to get involved. The puppy will allow them without getting uncomfortable, and then that's where it just takes a little time that we can't just like push or force. But I'm breaking up the normal animalistic dog behavior with human leadership. I'm stepping in and reminding everybody everything that happens that's interesting is because of something I do. We can't let them decide for themselves. Yeah, these guys are playing, and they'll be watching. It's pretty normal. This is kind of what I expect. So once they start playing like this, these two, I know that they feel back to their normal, safe, comfortable, happy, healthy life in their own home, despite the fact that 2 other dogs are in here watching them. This has all happened in less than 45 minutes. But this is part of the process. So now they're going to be the curious ones, kind of like, that looks kind of fun. But the fact that they're playing like that is what shows me my dogs are comfortable. My dogs are cool with what's going on. They're on their back, being submissive. They trust the situation. So now we just manage it from here. It's super easy. Right, Tucker? And again, the reason I don't want to contain them in here and we moved the gate is because I wanted to create more space to give them to go, because their behavior told me that they're going to behave. So just because they're dogs and they get along doesn't mean they always want to be crammed into one room together. So we have to give them the opportunity to go feel better somewhere else or take a break without it being because they need it so bad. This is pretty normal for Olive, and I've seen Olive and Maggie play like this before. Olive makes a lot of noise, but she's happy. You'll know she's happy. What do you think, Winnie Pig? If you can get your puppy's attention in the middle of that, that's always a good thing. And our dogs behaving like this is what's telling Tucker and Maggie that, hey man, everything's good, we can just be dogs, just follow the rules. And there really aren't many rules as long as everybody's behaving. So that was Olive going too far and Maggie saying, that's too much, and that's communication, and that's okay. Maggie's just a little more skittish than probably any of these other dogs. These guys are, I think I did a video on them being, their sister-brother, coming from the same littermates, and they've been together their whole life. So usually one of those in that situation is going to depend on the other one's presence a lot more than the other. And in this case, Tucker's kind of the solid one that's fine with whatever, and Maggie needs a little bit of help from him. And we'll look to him more often and figure out where he is. Maggie's the red collar, by the way. So you let them earn access to the space where they can be with each other by establishing leadership, and then you let them establish a way to play and have fun on their own, sort of. If one of these dogs wasn't feeling comfortable with the way, say, Olive was behaving or the puppy, then I would separate them until they felt more comfortable. Since we did it step by step, it just kind of, this is a perfect example of it just working great. And Maggie and Tucker live at a house where they have an invisible fence, and they get to roam the whole property, outside, inside. They have access to everything. So them being in this small of a space, that's a very different environment for them. So it's even more important for me to show them, hey, I know this is different than what you're used to, but I got you. I will take care of these dogs, and you take care of, yeah. Okay, so in 1 second from now, somebody's gonna knock on our door. Nobody ever knocks on our door, and we do our darndest to avoid it, but you will see a reaction from our dogs, from Lex, Olive, and Winnie will kind of follow their lead, right? And of course, a group of dogs, these guys are gonna follow them over, the big guys, the new guys. But you know, when you start talking about that sudden excitement and a big group of dogs that hasn't been around each other long, all compacted in a small space, you got to be aware that could lead to bad things. So in a perfect world, we would know before somebody's knocking, and we would arrange everybody in a perfect way. But here is an example of what happens if you can't. And so I think what I'm about to do is get a noisemaker and get the Maggie and Tucker's attention and get them back. And the reason that I'm able to do that is because I've established this stuff previously. And so that could be the difference in a major fight at the door with a couple male dogs, and not bad dogs. Like it would be normal for this to lead to a big fight in a lot of group of dogs, and not bad dogs or misbehaved dogs, but these are animals, and this is a new situation for them, you know, in a new group and new members. So had we not established very clearly through communication prior to this that, hey, we're the ones in charge, I'm in charge, when I need to get your attention, come to me, this would have been a more difficult situation. It wasn't anything to worry about, but you'll see. Cue knock on door. Maggie, Tucker, come.
Back.
Maggie, hang on.
Hold on one second. Okay, I'm coming.
Come on. Good. All right, so all I'm doing there is I'm removing at least the 2 new dogs from the chaos at the door. Because knocking on our door is something that does not happen very often and does create a response. And that's okay. It's just we have to react. So I did not mean for this to turn into a 20-minute long video, but I cut out as much as I could without taking away that core message about body language and personalities and dogs and stuff like that. So I absolutely thank you for watching till the end. And I'll cut this up and maybe I can make some shorter videos into it. I hate it being 20 minutes long, but if you're running your own dog business where you're bringing dogs into your home, this is something that over the last couple years I've learned to make very smooth, and then we follow certain ways, and we have backup plans for if things happen. And so I think this video shows a lot of why we're able to do that with new dogs, puppies, aggressive dogs, scary, frightful dogs. This was just a good situation, or a good example of a random group of dogs, all very healthy, solid-minded, dogs. Maggie's a little unsure about stuff, like you probably heard in the video, but it is not far-fetched to imagine a group of 5 dogs, even dogs that are amazingly behaved in their homes, wouldn't have a problem with this situation if not created for them the right way. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we're on Facebook, Instagram, IGTV. Share it around, ask any questions you'd like. I think we're about to be in our homes with our dogs, maybe for a little extra time coming up, so I'm trying to put together some videos about some different things you can do in that situation since I have this group of dogs. But stay safe, take care of your dogs, and any questions, please leave the comments below. I'd be happy to answer any type of questions you might have, especially if you watch this entire video, and hopefully you got some sort of knowledge from it. So I wish videos like this had existed when I first started doing this, because it says a lot about how you have to take a consistent idea of groups of dogs getting along, but really adapt this each different person, like what you really need to know to be a dog trainer, behaviorist, or work in a dog business, how you need to be able to see the difference between Maggie and Tucker and their comfort level and their body language, the difference between a 13-and-a-half-week-old puppy and how she's feeling about something, while at the same time you've got a high-energy, high-drive female Carolina dog that you got to be careful with her excitement level. So I just wanted to make sure I got this out there. So thanks again, and let me know if you need anything.